Good afternoon. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Georgetown, Texas. As you know, the greatest club in the entire world. My name is George Lorigan. I'm honored and humbled to serve as your president for this year. Wow, look at this. Everyone is ready to go. We'll just go ahead and get started. Joanne?
Please bow your heads. Lord, thank you for all the blessings you bestow upon us. Through your teachings and grace, you inspire us to comfort those in need, to help those in distress, and encourage each other to keep the Rotary motto, service above self, in the front of our minds as we go about our daily lives. Thank you, Lord, for this meal, and please bless those who prepare our food. Please bless us, our families and friends, and especially those in need. And we thank you, Lord, for the safe return of our friend, David Kilroy Kellerman, from his Appalachian Trail Odyssey. Amen.
Amen. Please put your hands over your heart and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, we got some birthdays today. This week. Larry Bingham, September 15th. Luke Wilson Manning, September 15th. David Kellerman, September 16th. Spouses' birthdays: David Mastering's wife, Jenny, September 16th. Hector Martinez's wife, Alejandra, September 18th. Anniversaries, we have George and Vicki Oliver, 11 years on September 15th. Brian and Kelly Jameson is 10 years, September 19th. Club anniversaries, Janelle McNeil, 1 year, September 14th, and Tiffany Inez, 4 years, September 15th. Salute.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. If you brought a guest today, please stand and introduce them. Dennis will be taking the microphone around.
Yeah, I have as my guest today, my better half and wife, Holly.
I got a better half and wife, Dana, here today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have my youngest daughter, Madeline May, with me today.
Hi, I have the privilege of inviting Erin and her staff, Jenny, Caroline, and John.
Hello, we have joining us today Philip Nido. Philip is a resident of Georgetown for the past 13 years. He is a retired hospital administrator, but he's entering his second career as a realtor here in the Georgetown area. So please welcome Philip Nido.
Anybody else? Are there any visiting Rotarians? Please stand and introduce yourself. No visiting Rotarians. Excellent. Next slide, please. So now we're going to temporarily adjourn our club meeting and turn the podium over to Karen Wilson, our Club Foundation President.
Thank you, George. For the Rotary Club of Georgetown Foundation's bylaws, the immediate past president of the club, serve as the trustee. I'm sorry, let me start over. Will serve as the president of the foundation. Also, the treasurer of the club will be the treasurer of the foundation. The change in officers of the foundation for the 2019-2020 fiscal year are as follows. Gary Brown will replace Ron Barrick. George Lorigan will replace me. And I will replace Chris Cash as the past president. Also, we have 9 trustees, each serving a 3-year term. So they're divided into 3 different groups. 3 roll off each year, and we bring on 3 new trustees each year. I'm here today to ask you to vote in the slate of new trustees. You'll see their names displayed: Roger Chappell, Derek McGill, and Janelle McNeil. Janelle, are you here? No, I don't think any of them are here today. So what I would like to do, as I stated the slate of nominees, present you and ask you to vote yay or nay on those for me at this little meeting. So if all in favor of voting in these new nominees for the foundation trustees, say yay. Yay. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time that you gave me. We are adjourned.
I think Karen has a record for the fastest and shortest meeting we've ever had. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Karen. Quick reminder of membership. Remember what George talked about last week. Coming soon, and we'll start it next week. Next slide, please. Here we go. Coming soon, 7 easy ways to get the Rotary word out. So we're going to do 1 a week starting next week. So look forward to that. Dennis.
Our little friend on the table is feeling very ignored, and so if you're honest on your way out, you'll feed our polio pig. I'm always happy to see somebody come up and proudly show off their pin. So once we get to 100%, we're good to go.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dennis. What a great looking crew. Will the following people please stand up? Chris Cash, Mike Sweeney, Larry Bingham, Dennis Pepin, Denise White, Glenn Beck, Myra Page, Henry Hughes, Steve Shaw, Barry Bowden, Alan Johnson, and our 2 favorite AHC girls, Christina and Juliana, that they happen to be here. What a great crew. You guys look a lot better today than you did Saturday morning, but I do thank you very, very much. Mr. Parker truly appreciates the ramp that you built. It looks fantastic. Next slide. Who is that guy? That is the end of the road. The top of the mountain, the end of the road. That's David Kellerman, one of the very newest as of Monday morning, Appalachian Trail through hiker. He dedicated his hike to the men and women who've served our country and raised over $60,000 in doing so. Now, before we go on to the next slide, Scott's got a couple things he needs to talk about. Do y'all recognize this shirt that I'm wearing? The nice polo shirt from last year? Well, guess what? There's a new one for this year.
Yeah, I'm filling in for Jeannie, who couldn't be here today. The shirts this year, and you only got this week and next week to buy one, okay? So anyone that's not here, if you know them and they're not here and you think they would buy one, we'll take the orders. Don't need to be paid today. Last year's shirts were lighter and a little better than the first year. This year's shirts are even lighter weight and high quality than the ones from last year. We've got three over there. The only ladies shirt we have is a ladies, what was it, Holly Large? Ladies Large. It fit her pretty good, but she said she'd rather have a medium. And we've got a men's extra large and large. Now, Jeannie said that they supposedly run small. Well, an extra large still fit me fine. So afterwards, if you want to run the restroom, try one on and see. They're going to be anywhere from $30 and up. Depending on how many we buy will affect the price. If you need a double X or 3X or anything, those will be $2 to $4 more. We'll have the price a little more confirmed, but like I said, the more we sell, a little bit less it'll come down. So once again, it's only this week and next week. So the only other thing I wanted to say quick, and Jeannie's gonna hit you on this next week. With the Field of Honor, we need more club help. Some of you are great. I've got some things I'm going to need, some positions. Some are just one day for the field. First one is on the 8th, is Mark the Field. And Gary and Julian all remember what that was like last year. But guess what, guys? We're going to have 2 crews going this year. It's not hard, it's very tedious. Yeah, so I'll make sure I have more water with us this year too. So with 2 crews going, we'll start approximately, let's see, what are 8 in the morning, 7:30, whenever, and then an hour or 2 later, people can come out and start throwing the rebar down. Okay, the rebar is heavy, but I don't think Amber's here, but her 2 cute little girls 2 years ago each carried 1 piece of rebar and threw them down. But we'll have more details coming with that. And once again, Jeannie will have things for people to do as well. Also, a position we need is fueling the lights. Those lights out there take fuel. So I have different days, the 9th through the 17th. You can sign up for one. This needs some muscle because the cans are heavy when they're full, okay? But you can save your receipt, turn it into Carol, or make it a donation to the Rotary. The other thing, this is the easy one, just got to get up. Morning security, get there by 7 a.m. and let the police off to go. You're only there 2 or 3 hours till whenever they get the office set up, okay? And if you're out there and it's a nice day, nice morning, when you get up on that viewing stand and there's a nice breeze moving the flags, it's really pretty neat. It's really pretty neat. Once again, you can sign up for a day. If you're interested, I can just take your name and we can get the date down when it gets here. And last but not least, on Thursday, November 7th, 8 a.m., the flags and the rebar and everything don't magically come from the storage unit to the field. So we need 6 or 8 people. Once again, the rebar is kind of heavy, but you can handle a couple. It's kind of narrow, that's why you only want 6 to 8 people. So we've got these things coming up. Jeannie's going to have more for you next week. I know some of you work till 5. Okay, understand, or later, but the office is open till 7. If you can come out for a couple hours, even unscheduled, we had some Rotarians do that last year. You can hand out the brochures. There's also flag escorts. There's all sorts of jobs you can do with that. So we'll have all these things for you next week, and we need the help. We need as much help as we can for that week. So anybody interested in what I've said today, you can see me afterwards, and we can take the shirt orders over there. I brought my wingman Holly to help me. So anyway, thank you for your time.
Next up, just a quick reminder, blood drive, October 4th. So when is that? That's what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 3 weeks from today? 3 weeks. Okay, thank you. Math is not working today. You can also sign up early on the website on there. Allison, are you here? There she is.
We have a social tonight from 5 to 7 at Chuck's Lounge. It's inside the Sheraton. It's a fun time. Feel free to invite guests. It's a great way to expose them to Rotary. For the rest of you, it counts as a makeup.
I think she just stole one of the 7 ways to get the word out, didn't she, George? Oh, well, that's okay. President's Challenge, President's Challenge. I've extended it 1 more week, and then I go on vacation, so we got to get it in by then. So how many people here use a laundromat? Get dry cleaning done? Nobody? Come on, raise your hand. How many people? Have y'all asked the person who is the dry cleaning whether they can donate $250 to a sponsorship? Really? How many of y'all ladies get your hair done? Uh-huh. At least one person's going to be honest. Have y'all checked with them? I bet they'd be interested in having their name in that program. Just think about all the different places that you can get a $250 sponsorship and get a free ticket to the Patriot Ball. Next slide. Quick review of what's coming up. Club Social tonight. Next week, board meeting. It'll be about 10:45. Should have put that on there. And then I'll be gone the week after that in Colorado for an entire week. And Danny, you left some nice, pretty scenery in Colorado for me?
It's so nice here right now.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Now, did you hike all the mountains?
Almost all.
Almost all. Did you go to 14? Did you go to 14? You did a 10? Okay. Now wait, Breckenridge starts at 10. Oh, okay. Got to pick on you. All right, so mostly regular club meetings coming up. How far are we from the beginning of the Field of Honor? 8 weeks from the beginning of the Field of Honor. 8 weeks yesterday, right? Can we start setting up the field? All righty. Jerry Berry, you're on.
Good afternoon. Okay, gotta bring it down. Good afternoon. It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce our guest speaker today, Erin Kiltz, with Director of Brookwood Community, Georgetown. It is known locally as BiG, a community that supports and treasures special needs adults. I had the privilege this week of touring, there we go, I'm standing on my tiptoes here, touring BiG. I am in awe. It is such an amazing community. It just took the breath away. Erin will tell you more about it. They have a wonderful restaurant and a gift shop, and this, of course, I had to buy. So, ladies, they have clothing also. BiG is the first extension of Brookwood Community in Brookshire, Texas. Prior to moving to Georgetown, Erin and her husband, John, co-founded many nonprofit organizations, such as providing physical, emotional, and financial support to family and patients that have bone marrow transplants at the Texas Children's Hospital. She also co-founded Wheels Fun custom spoke guards covers for wheelchairs. Each of these endeavors were inspired by her youngest daughter, Gracie, who was born with Down syndrome, battled leukemia, and was left with serious brain damage. Gracie departed to heaven in September 2018. If you haven't seen this month's View, the date they dedicated the cover story to Erin and Gracie, and I have other copies over there where Carol is. Erin and John have 2 other children. They are committed to furthering their commission and mission of BiG, providing communities for adults with special needs. Her story will warm your hearts. With no further ado, I introduce Erin.
I actually have a helper today, so usually I bring a citizen, but I decided to bring our Director of Program Expansion, Jenny Thallander, and she has been with BiG for 5 years, and she actually has a halo and wings. So anyway, you know it's been a really long time since you've been at Rotary. It's been 7.5 years when you start liking your bio picture. Because that was 8 years ago. So I'm like, wow, that looked good back then. And I know so many of you know the story, but I want to give you clarity, because that's what I'm working on as a leader, as to what you'll hear today. Okay, so first you're going to watch the most recent video that our citizens did prior to our art auction. And then second, we kind of, most of you have supported us over the years, and we feel as though you are family to us. And over the last 9 months, or I guess 6 months now, we've been participating in a leadership forum called the Praxis Community. And anyway, it is where they equip leaders, Christian leaders, to be healthy and whole and effective in their mission. And so have been invited to do a pitch to the gathering, which is a huge philanthropic gathering in Dallas, Texas. So we're going to do that for you because it's a 5-minute pitch and we want honest feedback. So you have to pretend like you've never heard about BiG. And then we really do want like our Rotary family to give us feedback on that because we do that in about 2 weeks. And then there's another little video from our citizens to Rotary, just personally to y'all. And so that's kind of the little presentation agenda. Like I said, it's been 7.5 years, and I don't know if all of you ever realize the impact of your investment in all of the nonprofits that you have made, but Caroline Canal, who is right here, and she's been with me since day one, and then Luke just joined us from the Brookwood Community from Brookshire, Texas. And so anyway, yesterday we were figuring out the impact of all that you have invested in BiG. First, you gave us our first brand new kiln that we ordered from Scott. And I think it was a $3,600, I don't know, Laura, you can probably verify, $3,600 grant. And we bought this new high fire kiln, which, anyway, so yesterday we began to look at how many pieces of pottery had been fired in that kiln. And so just to let you know, your investment of $3,600 produced 72,000 pieces of pottery and has netted $1,080,000. So in 7.5 years, that's what Rotary has done for BiG. I mean, I was like in tears when I was just like, wow, like you have no idea what seems to y'all may be a small investment, the dividends. And then in year 2, Laura and Chris and Derek McGill and a bunch of you were responsible for granting us the International Matching Rotary Grant, which provided for our bus that we still use to take strategic tours to the Brookwood community to learn. And that we've done over 100 strategic tours since 2011. And we deliver cookies to Hack Creek in 2 locations every week. So that's a really neat investment too. And then recently you provided our honey extractor, and that is the most exciting thing. So we've extracted 35 gallons of honey, and you can pick up honey, local honey, but our citizens are extracting that honey. They're not going to the beehives, but they're extracting the honey. And so anyway, that's really neat. But so anyway, if we can just start with the video and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
My name is Alec, and I am made in God's image.
God made me how He made me, the way I am.
Created with intention.
I'm Kurt. I'm Darla.
My name is Eric Clark.
Hi, I'm Neil.
I'm Emma. I am Beth Watkins. I am Sarah Brown. And I am Rachel.
I'm CB. I'm Christopher.
Jordan. Hello, my name is Andrew Hudson. I love to work.
I'm Tracy and I work in the cafe.
Hi guys, it's Cameron. I work here at BiG.
I am a skilled glazer and potter and employee in the retail shop.
We make beautiful products.
I'm an artist.
I am an artist.
Artisan.
I am a gardener.
I am a joy.
I am vulnerable.
I am cherished.
And I'm creative. I'm valuable. I'm talented. I love Jesus. I love time travel.
I have a great sense of humor.
I'm a jokester.
I'm a George Strait expert.
I like Wonder Woman.
I'm a wildcat.
I'm an excellent dancer and I can break dance. See?
Yes.
A lot of us work hard here, and I get a paycheck.
Make money and pay bills. I am independent woman, and I love working at BiG.
And the staff here are so amazing, and I just love it here.
I'm a citizen of BiG.
I am a citizen of BiG.
I go to BiG.
I'm a citizen of BiG, Brookwood in Georgetown. I am proud to be a citizen of BiG.
I am a citizen of BiG.
I'm a citizen at BiG.
And a real good one.
I'm a game changer.
Game changer.
I am changing the way the world views adults with special needs.
I can't be Boston. BiG is awesome.
We are family.
We are BiG!
That's what God wanted me to be at BiG for the rest of my life.
So how many of you have not been to the big shop? You're not going to get in trouble. You're going to get something. Okay. So, like, raise your hand because Luke's going to give you a coupon because I want you to come in and have lunch in the cafe. And now everyone's going to raise their hand. And then, how many of you were here 7.5 years ago when we presented for the very first time? Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Just leave your hands up because we need to give you a card too. Because that means you've been with us this whole time. So thank you so very much. You write the check, so give her one for sure. And then just remember, every Wednesday we have a tour, and y'all are welcome to come. You can sign up online or call the big shop. We only take 16 at a time, and so a lot of times for several months out, there will be a little bit of a wait, but please come. It really, you have to like see it to believe it. So it's worth it, especially to see your investment at work. So anyway, so we're gonna get started. So just pretend like, wipe your slate clean and pretend like you don't know about BiG, okay? So I'm curious, in an audience this size, how many of you are directly or indirectly connected to someone with special needs? How many? Okay, so that's probably about a third. Well, then it probably won't surprise you that this is one of the fastest growing populations in the US. Technical difficulties. There we go, all right.
So now the good news is that our society has made monumental progress in addressing the needs of children with special needs. However, in most states, these individuals age out of the school system at 22, and those services dramatically drop off. For the next 2/3 of their lifespan, these adults are largely isolated and forgotten. So our friend John here, he's had a home for 14 years doing nothing until he joined our program this past January. And John's story is one of 77 stories that we could tell you, but with the exponential growth of this population, the reality is that most adults with special needs are still isolated with no job, no purpose, and no community. And our mission at Brookwood and Georgetown is to change that.
Meeting this need became personal during our family's journey with our daughter. Gracie was born with Down syndrome and at 3 suffered a brain injury during a fight against leukemia. Throughout the 26 years of her extraordinary life, we received 22 years of comprehensive support for her special needs. It wasn't until her senior year in high school the educators told us there were very few options for Gracie and her friends post-high school. As I toured the few options available to my fully dependent yet fully aware daughter, I was horrified at the conditions of the places that I found. Overnight, I became a desperate mom on a mission launched on a nationwide search that led me to a 35-year-old organization called the Brookwood Community. And I knew I had found the paradigm shift and model I wanted to replicate. Brookwood graciously committed to mentoring us, and by the grace of God, November 1st, 2011, Brookwood in Georgetown opens its doors with 8 citizens and donated church space.
Now, our model is based on a biblical view of life. We affirm that every adult with special needs, who we call citizens, is created in the image of God and has a gift to contribute. And now with that as our foundational truth, there are 4 distinct characteristics that we live by and look for in those we mentor as we expand. And so first, our citizens are continuing their 22 years of education by experientially learning through hands-on work enterprises. We are building on the skills that our society has already invested in through that public school system. And then, instead of mundane, repetitive busy work, our citizens engage in meaningful work, creating pottery, jewelry, soap, or consumables. We believe that we are the greatest reflection of our Creator when we are creating something beautiful. Everything our citizens make is then sold in an award-winning retail shop, cafe, greenhouse, and starting on Monday, online. These items not only help change the way the world views adults with special needs, but also bring in 30% of our operating budget. Our citizens take incredible pride and ownership in helping sustain the community they enjoy every day, and the public in turn has given these products and these spaces 5-star reviews. And then last is that the world teaches us we have to be independent, but instead we believe in an interdependent working community, that we are all created with complementary strengths and weaknesses, and when we work together is when we can truly achieve the potential that God has intended for us.
So people ask, why BiG? In contrast to the traditional workforce, our citizens experience true, safe community. They are engaged for 30 hours a week versus 4 to 6 hours at a typical job. At BiG, citizens are supported when they have a bad day instead of being fired, as many of our citizens have experienced through past employment. We delight in empowering our citizens to become all that God intended them to be. Currently, we are serving 77 citizens with 40 more in application. Each yellow state on this map represents families that have relocated to Georgetown, Texas, so that their son or daughter could become a part of BiG. We are passionate about replicating this paradigm shift and model. But given it is not feasible for everyone to move to Georgetown, Texas, we have developed 3 methods of growth. First, we are continuing to expand with our own satellites in free church space. Last year, we planted 2 satellites with the goal of adding 1 to 2 each year. Second, we mentor other startup communities that share our core tenets. And within that space, we're developing an apprenticeship program that we will actually charge for our investment of time within those startup communities. And lastly, we train organizations from all over the world through the forums with the Brookwood Community. And each yellow dot on this map are organizations that have traveled to the Brookwood Community and BiG to learn the model. God has so showered his blessings upon our citizens and their respective families. However, as you can probably imagine, as a parent, the number one fear is what happens to that child when the parents are gone. Where will they live, and who will take care of them? In response, we just opened up first 2 pre-pilot homes, with the next 2 opening up in fall of 2020. However, our long-term vision is to expand and build a state-of-the-art residential and vocational community on 100 acres with revenue-generating components, a true destination for the greater Austin area. Please join Brookwood and Georgetown in securing our vision of a place where this amazing population will flourish for life. Thank you. Okay, we have to have that memorized, word perfect, so y'all can pray for us. Anyway, I just want to say we are so thankful for all that Rotary does, not just for BiG, but for all of the nonprofits that you have invested in. And I mean, if I had an ounce more time, I mean, I could be a PR person for Rotary, because I love that you come together, that you honor our country, that you honor God, and that you honor Him by serving our community and by investing in local nonprofits like BiG. So thank you so much. And now, this is from our citizens regarding the honey extractor that you just blessed us with.
Good, over here. That's really good, Sean. Over here. Okay. Stop.
Extractor. And big honey, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do y'all have any questions? And if there's any feedback on the pitch, I would love that too. Y'all can, yes, go ahead.
What's on your menu in the cafe?
Oh, it's delicious. It's online, and there's everything from a grilled cheese with 5 different types of cheeses, and you can add bacon and avocado. It's delicious. And there's also wonderful salad options and a lot of gluten-free things as well. So, quiche, yes.
Yes, the need out there is great. Your resources are limited. How do you make decisions on who is in the program to be mentored?
You mean the startup communities that I spoke of, or are you talking about our citizens? Okay, so that's a program question. So I'm going to let Jenny take the floor on that one.
Yes, that is a good question. And so our admissions process is quite lengthy, to be honest, and that's because when we have a citizen join our program, our intention is for life, should the family choose that. And so there's a lot of steps to that. A family comes on a tour of BiG. We do what's called they fill out an application. We have a family interview where we meet that citizen and their family, and they come and spend what we call a volunteer day, where they spend a whole day actually trying out that program. And so within that time is sort of where we are all kind of assessing at what level of need this citizen will require for them to be successful in our program. And so we bring in, there's several of us that are sort of making that decision together to making sure that we're always looking to make sure that everyone in our program is safe, happy, and healthy, as well as those around them are safe, happy, and healthy. And so there are certain things that if a citizen needs more supervision, they might come with an assistant provided by their family. And so there are kind of degrees of assistance required within that process, and so we make those decisions based on that kind of application and interview process.
So the only population we really can't serve right now is someone who would be dangerous to themselves or others. So down the line, we would love to address those greater behavior it's really hard to ever turn anyone down, but we don't turn down anyone that's the thing that's so beautiful about the Brookwood Community model, is it's really a one-room schoolhouse approach to life learning and working. And most communities you go to, they're going to put all the wheelchair-bound citizens over here, and then we don't refer to functioning, but those that are ambulatory and independent, they're over here. And the beautiful thing is to see someone like, a Bart, who's our tour guide, help somebody hand over hand like Rusty, and they just are helping each other. It's a beautiful slice of what true community looks like.
Go ahead, over here.
Oh, yes.
So did you say what your maximum number that you have right now?
Well, we have 77 over 3 campuses, and so we have 52 at our main campus. And then we actually, for Georgetown Church of Christ, we actually asked if we could go back to Georgetown Church of Christ. So we have, how many there? 18 now. And then we just opened a location in Bee Caves, and we have 9 there. So we're looking at a couple of other campuses. But so the thought is that we would grow those satellite campuses to 32, and we always need a true partner in a church, because the model works from a sustainability standpoint to actually start in free church space, because we're paying that first teacher salary. So until we build up some citizens that can pay, then we can't really pay rent or anything. So most churches, that's their ministry to us.
So as a family that has Down syndrome, my sister her daughter's Down syndrome, and you put up the map of where people have moved, I know if this program were available, she would move to wherever it is, because that's what you do to help support your child. She's on the East Coast, there's nothing there for her now, and so she's moved from state to state to state, and her daughter is almost 40 now. So it's imperative that there's programs like this around the country, and there just aren't yet. But hopefully more programs like Brookwood will come. Well, and that is definitely our heart too with this replication. And so, again, like Erin said, we're locally beginning to expand with these satellite campuses, and we'll continue doing that as well. And the vision, again, behind this apprenticeship model is that hopefully we can develop a program where we're directly mentoring interested communities around the nation and beyond, where they come and learn the very basics of every single thing we do. Like we will share our knowledge with anyone who wants. There is no competition in this field because the need is endless. And so our heart is that she has a place to find meaning and purpose. And so we are incredibly passionate about that, and are really in this phase of praying and planning for how can we best continue to meet this need and equip others to meet the need throughout the nation. Because like you said, you could put a BiG in every single local town in this country and they would all fill up. And so we're very passionate about that.
What's the average lifespan of someone with Downs?
Well, it's gotten much longer. So it used to be right about 50, and now we have those with Down syndrome living into their early 70s.
Oh, I have a son-in-law whose brother had Down, and he lived to 57, and I thought that was exceptional.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
We got one more back here.
Yes. Oh, one of our citizen parents.
There's trouble.
So anyway, I wanted to say something more than a question. Our son Bradley is a citizen of BiG, and a lot of you may know Bradley. He was born with cerebral palsy. And I want to thank this club firsthand for making BiG possible and supporting the endeavors of Erin and John and the other folks in our community. Because at the time of my presidency, when we first heard about this, and I found out there were 7 Rotary clubs that helped launch the Brookshire Brookwood Community, I just felt it was really important that our club be a part of that legacy here in Georgetown. And from someone who has a young adult that has benefited from the program, I want to thank Rotary. Bradley loves being at BiG. He feels valued, rewarded. He feels that he's a part of something that's actually bigger than himself. It was like overnight, he found somewhere where he belonged, and people that loved him and accepted him and saw what he had to offer. And, I just can't say thank you enough. It changed Bradley's life. He loves pottery. He works in the cafe on Thursday, so if you're in there on Thursday, say hi to Brad. He's the greeter. And he loves gardening and everything about Brookwood. So thank you, Erin. And I want to share, I was at their shop last night, and this is a part of another little piece of Rotary's legacy and what BiG is doing. This is some BiG honey that's super delicious, and I'm sharing it with my good friend Randy here. So you're going to have to cook on the way out here today. So anyway, thank you for everything that y'all have done. It is not Bradley's life, but our life, all of our family members and extended family, and I've seen the impact firsthand with everyone in our community with the other citizens. So thank you for your diligence and commitment to help others.
Erin, one last question. Where is Brookwood?
In Brookshire, Texas.
And where is Brookshire?
That is just west of Katy. Probably, Luke, how many miles? Like 5 miles west of Katy?
Yeah,
10 miles.
Thank
and
you.
know, it's interesting you asked that. We lived in Houston for 23 years. And of course, Gracie had, this new brain injury. And I actually was born in Houston. And no one ever said, you need to check out the Brookwood Community. And we lived in Hockley, Texas. And we were 30 minutes, there's a Katy Hockley cutoff, and no one ever, it's still kind of the best kept secret in Houston. So one thing that's so wonderful about BiG and what y'all have done here for us, and I'm really saying that because Caroline remembers, we were putting our grocery money together at first, I didn't get to go grocery shopping, but we bought a slab roller. John was like, what's for dinner? Let's look in the free. I mean, it was like everyone was pooling their money, and then Rotary gave us that $3,600 grant. So it was huge, but we are right in the face of Georgetown. When you go to visit Brookshire, I mean, it's a destination and it's wonderful, and God has so blessed that campus. But you have to travel 45 minutes to get there. So it's wonderful that it's right here and that you can just swing in and have lunch in the cafe or go on a tour or buy a present, and it's so accessible to everyone so that they can experience it and understand the mission. So.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
The table.
Oh, the table. I just want to be careful because George has given me special instructions. So this is just a selection of some of the things that our citizens make. And we just launched, like Jenny was saying, or we're launching, I think, on this next Wednesday, an online store, or Monday. And then we also just launched something called the Big Box subscription. So it's a quarterly subscription that will come to you with 8 handmade items in a box. So it's kind of like the Cos box, but it's called the Big Box subscription. So all of these things, and we're continuing to develop dog treats, and each campus is kind of focused on, they have a specialty, item or two that they're creating to sell. And so, anyway, thank y'all so much.
Before you run off, two things. The Rotary theme this year is Rotary Connects the World, which is also what you do. This is the Rotary pin for Rotary Connects the World. I'd like each one of you to have one of those. And then take this back with you and sign it there. This goes to Pearl Elementary.
Oh, nice.
You can write anything you want in the front of it there. Thank you very, very much. Have any of y'all heard of Southwestern University?
No.
There's a football team that they started up a couple of years back, actually after a 50-year break. And I think the coach is related to one of our members, is that right? Yeah? Okay, so she gave me these tickets for the first home game, which is when? 21st, that's correct, next Saturday. Anyone interested, come see me. They're free, that's correct. Yes, they're free. Dennis tried to give them all away, but nobody would take them last week. Well, they took about half of them, I guess. So, are there any announcements for the good of Rotary?
Shirts.
You already made that one.
For those of you that may not be aware of it, next Thursday at the ballroom in Sun City, we're going to hold a meeting, town hall meeting, which will be conducted by the neurology faculty of the UT Dell Medical School. And it's going to be focused on the research and care of neurodegenerative diseases. So any of you that are interested, please, it's open to the public, please come by and learn what's happening at the front edge of research and care for these neurodegenerative diseases.
Can you mention the time again?
The time is from 10 to 12 noon, Sun City Ballroom next Thursday, the 19th.
Yes. Yes, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So the foundation board, the club foundation board will have a meeting in the room behind here right immediately following this meeting. Check your trumpet for any upcoming events, and please join me in saying, yes, sorry. Oh yes, thank you very, very much, Steve. So, a couple years ago, we built a ramp for BiG. Well, that building is going to be moved, and they're going to build something else in that place, I'm assuming, down the road, and it's going to be moved next week. So we need to move that ramp if we want to be able to reclaim that and use that for other places. So anyone who's interested, see me afterward. I can come Sunday afternoon if y'all are available at that time. We can take that ramp apart and reclaim the lumber so we can do the same thing for somebody else. Thank you very much, Steve. Yes. And it's perfectly okay to donate a full used wallet. That is not a problem. It's okay if there's $100 bills in it, right? Okay, a full used wallet, yes, full of money. Thank you very much. Please stand and join me in reciting the four-way test. The things we think, say, or do. First.
Is it true?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We are adjourned.